So this. Good evening, all my precious viewers. I hope you guys are having an awesome night. I was just testing out the microphone to make sure it's not too loud, but I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit. Coming at you guys with a banger tonight, you guys. It's going to be a pretty interesting episode. I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I hope you guys are also still having an awesome night right now before even the episode starts. So, yeah, it's episode 11. We're almost done with an entire season. I started this podcast in, I believe, 2020. I can go look, actually. But I started this podcast in 2020. I didn't expect it to go anywhere, but it's how I made my return to YouTube. And I just want to say that, like, it's honestly just amazing to be able to get back on and to almost be done with an entire season of this show. Okay, so here's my channel. Let's see. So 2 months ago, oh gosh, my audio sounds awful. December of 2020. Okay, so it's almost been 3 months ish. It has been a little bit over 3 months. So yeah, it's been a while. We're almost done with this one. We're almost done with this. So it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to finally be here, be able to say I've almost accomplished something, and I'm so close. And like tonight, I was thinking, man, that I just don't feel like doing it. And then I got on, and I said this a couple episodes back, and I got on, and I was like, let's freaking go to work. You feel me? So yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking with me. We've hit 100 subs. We've been sitting on top of 100 subs right now, which is a little annoying. But, you know, sometimes that just happens. So, let's see. Quick plugs. I posted a lot of videos on my TikTok today talking about, like, streamer struggles and stuff like that. I know you guys will love it, so go check that out. Let's see. Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. I stream a lot more there than I make content on here. I streamed last night, and a lot of people really liked it. And I really liked it. And you get to have a lot more interaction with me than you do on here. So really quick, let me go ahead and drop the Discord server. So if you guys are seeing the Discord link, join it, please. So, yeah, be sure that you actually join the Discord link, because if you do, that'd be amazing. Follow the Instagram and the Twitch, just the Forgotten Hoodie _YT is the Instagram, no caps, no spaces in the Instagram, and then Forgotten Hoodie, capital F, capital H, and no space on Twitch. So go follow all that stuff, get some good content on all those platforms, and I'm sure you guys will love it. So, don't believe I have any announcements. So yeah, just a quick topic overview. Tonight we're going to be talking about my paranormal experiences, and I've actually had more than you would believe. And if you don't believe it, then darn. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the weather, just one last touch on it, and then I'm going to tell you all about the Civil Air Patrol. I've been giving y'all a lot of stories about it in the last couple of episodes, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown, basically, on it, basically. So, with my paranormal experiences, I think this is a slightly controversial topic, but it's not that controversial. So I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit, because this can be a little kind of hard to digest scene, or a hard to digest topic. So I think the first major one that I had was a couple of weeks ago. I might actually have written it down, but I was keeping a journal. I don't keep it that much anymore, but if I can find it, I'll read it off to you. So if this is, okay, this is the one. Okay. So, really quick, let me just get all my stuff reorganized. So I was writing the entry, just kind of chilling and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I just, hear my doorknob just, click and then open. And in my mind, I was like, it's got to be somebody just trying to, mess around with me. I don't know what that is or what it could be. So I just kind of was like, whatever. Let's see. And the door just opened. I heard, it was all the way closed. I always close it all the way. And the door just opened. I heard the knob turn and then open. And I expected to see somebody, go, and pop their head in. And that time just did not come. And then I was, sitting in bed writing this. Let's see. Let me see. Sorry, I'm not talking much. I'm just trying to find this entry so I can read it off to y'all. Okay, alright, I think I found it. So this was on February 9th, this month. So I'm talking about stuff, I'm talking about my day, blah, 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 blah. And then I wrote, I'm going to wake up very early tomorrow morning to continue studying for class tomorrow. And then right after that, I started writing. This is a very abrupt, but as I am writing, my door has just opened. Before and after this happened, I heard 0 footsteps outside of my room. I am lying in bed with my lamp on, and I am petrified to go and see what is there. So that is actually very true. I was laying in bed, and I was just kind of sitting there I don't want to go see. I'm hoping it's one of my brothers, or it's my sister, or it's one of my parents, or something. But I don't know what it could be, and I don't want to find out. So I was just pretty freaked out. And then I said I was expecting one of my siblings or one of my pets to walk in, but there was nothing. If God can hear my thoughts, I hope and pray He's near me, with me at this time. And then I started talking if I die, blah 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 blah. But yeah, that was I think one of the scarier ones. And some people be like, "Oh, your door opened," when you don't know when you know that something is there, but you don't know what, and it doesn't make itself known. It can be scary, very, very scary. So, me having this experience, I just, basically tried to go to sleep, but I didn't want to go and close the door. So I, turned off my lamp, I put away my journal, and then I just kind of tried to go to sleep, and it took me a long time to fall asleep. So, when I did inevitably fall asleep, I woke up the next morning, and the door was closed. The door was closed. And I was just what in the world? I don't understand that at all. How does that even happen? So, yeah, it was a strange occurrence. I did not like it too much. It was pretty scary. So yeah, that's one of the main paranormal experiences I've had. Then I've also had other experiences where I'll be in the shower, and then I normally shower very late at night, where all of my family has gone to bed, and I'm hearing footsteps, and I'm feeling oppressed, as if there's something watching me, and I'm hearing lots of footsteps, as if everybody's running around because something crazy's happening, and I know for a fact I'm there's no way that they're all up right now and they're all moving around. But besides those two experiences, those are probably the most paranormal ones that I've had, and they're scary. They're scary. People will watch the Ghost Hunters, and that show's pretty fake. But there are also times, I'm not even kidding. I watched that show Ghost Hunters, and it was showing us a clip where a piece of wood moved. and the camera was so blurry. It was like using an arrow, and it was like if you look right here, and it's basically like waving your hand in front of your face while it's like pitch black outside and it's raining, and you can't see anything, and the arrow's just like, shoo, and then it goes back up, shoo, and it goes back up, shoo, and you literally see nothing. And then they're just like, yeah, this experience is 100% legitimate. And I'm like, I can't even see it. I can't see it at all. But nonetheless, like, even if you believe in that stuff or not, it's still really entertaining to watch. But, like, you can't even see it at all. You can't see it at all. And it was, like, just really boring because I was like, well, I can't even see what's happening. And then there are other ones that are actually, like, more believable, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, that doesn't make any sense, you know? But then there are also probably experiences that have that are actually real and that they don't fake. So, yeah, paranormal experiences they happen more often than you think. And they're not always just ghosts. They could be something beyond this world or, like, something that isn't, like, the ghost of a deceased person. I'm not going to go too into depth with that because I don't want it to get controversial, but it can go beyond what popular culture says these days. So it is important that if you guys like are religious or something, that you like stay close to whatever your God may be, or if you stay close to God, it is important to do that if you feel oppressed or something like that. Why is my Zaballer bot not pinging my Discord server? Alright, I'm going to ping it myself really quick. Should not be the case. I'm going to have to make sure that my bot is actually working, because it's not, which is not very helpful at all. But while we're on this topic, I can just talk about how... So, if any of y'all have noticed, I got Chick-fil-A, and today we actually went and, like, when we went and got Chick-fil-A, my brother works at Chick-fil-A, if you don't already know. So today my dad was like, hey, we're gonna go visit, my older brother. I'm not gonna drop it because I just don't care. But we were basically just like, hey, let's go visit your older brother at work today and get some Chick-fil-A. And I was like, okay, cool, Chick-fil-A. And so we went and got food, and then there's like a specific voice change. No offense to him, obviously, but there's a specific voice change that he has. And he just was like, hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A, how may I help you? And, you know, like, and I think one of the best perks is that, like, not only is he chipper, but he rarely acknowledges that we're even related to him, like, in the slightest. But, you know, like, he rarely does that. But when he does, it's like we pulled up in the drive-thru and I was like, we know your name. Like looking back on that, I'm like, why in the world would I even say that? Like, there's no point in even saying that. Like, there's no point at all. Like, I have no gain at all, and he doesn't, like, acknowledge us at all either. So, yeah. But, like, he'll just take our order, and then I think the best part is that we get a family discount. And one of the perks of that is that we get Chick-fil-A a lot more often now. So, yeah, that's my Chick-fil-A topic. That was really, really off topic. But let's go ahead and, where's my briefing channel? Here it is. Okay. So, I'm going to just go ahead and do the final view on the Texas weather topic really quick because it won't take long. But basically that topic is just kind of commenting on the last week's weather, and it's strange because this last week, the first couple of days, the weather has been amazing. Like, nothing that you could have, like, ever guessed. It's just been like, wow, this is just such a beautiful day. I want to have this day every day. And then it started raining later on in the week, but that's besides the point. And it was strange because on Monday, it was like 70 degrees and sunny. And a week prior to that, it was like the high was literally like 15 degrees. And it was snowing. And it just does not make sense to me at all how within a week it can change so drastically. Like, I get, like, there's science to it and stuff like that, but, like, having all that change, like, it's something something that's just super strange. Like, you see it, and then it's just like, how does that even happen? Like, I'm lost for words because I don't know how to describe it. It's just kind of a thing that happens, and you're like, that does not make sense at all. How does that happen so fast? So yeah, that's probably my final view on the weather. I hope that, like, the weather will get better and it'll stay better, because 72 degrees and sunny is amazing. So yeah, if you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's a Coke Zero with minimal ice. So yeah. Yeah. So somebody right now is asking in the chat, are you going to communicate with the spirit? So I just want to say this right now. I am a Catholic. I'm a practicing Catholic. And I would just like to say that I've asked several monks. I've done my research, and, like, communicating with spirits, or, like, doing Ouija boards or demonic games, that, like, not only is super dangerous, but it is also a sin if you are also a Catholic. Now, I'm not, like, saying, like, oh, you're going to hell, because, like, I'm not the person who's to judge, but like, I'm telling you, don't do it, because it's dangerous, right? Like, if you want to do it, go for it. But I'm going to just say this right now. Please, 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 please follow all the rules and be careful, and don't do anything stupid, because there have been people who have, like, messed around with that stuff, gotten possessed, and have been killed. So it's very important that you are careful with this stuff, or you don't, like, or you just don't do it in the first place. Like, if you're doing that stuff and, like, you're doing it all the time, please don't. Like, honestly, just please don't. It's not safe. It's not, like, a good thing to practice. Just please don't do it at all. So yeah, that's a hard topic for me to go over, but, it's just something that everybody has to understand, that it's not safe to do. Don't do it. And in case you're wondering, I have actually played one of those games. I think it was Charlie, and it's that game where you take, like, the two number 2 pencils, and then you, like, stack them on top of a piece of paper that have, like, the 2 lines on the paper, and then yes in the opposite corners and no in the opposite corners, and then you can say, like, Charlie, are you here, and blah 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 blah, and then like, the pencil would turn, and it was at a summer camp. I miss those guys to death. They were awesome. But it was at a summer camp, and we had all woken up, and it was, like, one of the mornings that they were letting us sleep in, and our counselors were mad at us, so they woke us up early, and so we were all just kind of in the cabin chilling for a couple hours. So we all were just kind of sitting there, like, all watching it, and somebody just jokingly goes, like, Charlie, are you here? And then the pencil freaking moves, and then, like, all of us were like, yo, who blew it? Like, who, like, blew a puff of air to move the pencil? Like, it was freaky too, because I was like, it moved. It moved. I was just so, like, I don't understand how it happened. Like, it moved, and I was like, okay, it's moving. Okay, here we go. And then we would ask it, like, questions, and it would respond really fast. And, like, you could be able to hear, like, if somebody was, like, blowing and, like, moving the pencil, nothing. And I was like, yo, who's actually doing this? Like, come on, guys. And we asked it a lot. We asked, like, a lot of questions, and it answered pretty much every single one. And I tried it a couple years later, but it was a while ago. So, and then that's when I kind of woke up a little bit religiously, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. So yeah. Yeah, EMF readers, I don't exactly know how accurate those are. But yeah, you don't have to communicate with it, but you can use that, like, if you think it actually works, you can use that to see if there are actually, like, ghosts or paranormal beings there. But yeah, that's probably the safer way, and I think a more scientific way too. So if you're gonna go for that route, I still recommend that you don't. But if you really want to, I think you should be careful with it. So That probably wraps up the paranormal topic. If you guys have any good things to throw into the chat and I can talk about, I'll probably touch up on it. But for right now, I'm gonna go on to our final topic. But before we do, I'm gonna throw these bad boys on. I just had a voice crack. So whenever I put these glasses on, I'm gonna wear these a lot more often because they look cool. But whenever I put on these glasses, it means I'm either about to do a try not to laugh challenge, because whenever I put these on, it just like puts me into a mood that's like, all right, I'm not laughing. Like I literally was just like talking to random people, and I was like, would you like to play a game? And they're like, okay, sure. And I was like, do you have TikTok? And they were like, yeah. And I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to make me laugh. And if you make me laugh, I'll follow your TikTok. But if you don't, then you have to follow mine. And then I have them follow my my YouTube channel's TikTok. And I'd actually get some traction. But at the same time, it was kind of boring because a lot of people would think I'm creepy and then just leave, basically. And I was like, okay, bye then. So there'd be that, and then, but like I didn't laugh at all. Like, and some of the jokes were actually really funny that they actually told me. I'm not gonna say them because they're kind of offensive, but they were pretty funny, and I was really fighting at some parts. But yeah, but the reason I'm putting on these glasses, in case any of y'all don't know, these are aviators. And the final topic of tonight's podcast is, what is the CAP, or the Civil Air Patrol? So I've been talking about this a lot in the past couple of episodes. So really quick, I'm in the cadet program, and the word cadet means leader in training. But at the same time, we also have leadership roles in the program. But the main three goals of the program are cadet programs, aerospace education, and emergency services. So in the cadet programs aspect, it's literally just training leaders how to be leaders. And then in the in the aerospace education aspect, it's just exactly what it is, which is aerospace education. And then in the emergency services aspect, which is something that you'll see Civil Air Patrol recognized for in the news a lot more than either the other main goals, or can't remember what exactly they're called, but they're like the three main goals, or the three main things. It's not JROTC. JROTC is done with a school, and this is actually the United States Air Force Auxiliary Unit, but it is not anywhere close to what the military like goes through. We don't go on tours. We don't you don't get military discounts, or we're not supposed to like ask for it. I never have, never will. We don't have a basic training, but we have something slightly similar. And I think the coolest talking point is that you get to fly planes, which is actually a very cool talking point because in my CAP career, I've gone flying 2 times, and my most recent time, I've actually gotten a lot of praise from my instructor for being a natural, pretty much, which is ironic because I still haven't driven a car, but I also still have my permit. So it's a little ironic because I'm learning how to fly a plane faster than I am drive a car. But in a typical plane, like in a movie, you'd see like they have the stick, and then they have the throttle, and it's like a whole handle that you push forward, and then it goes faster, and if you pull it back a little bit, it goes a little slower, and if you pull it all the way back, then it stops. In the planes that I'm flying, it's a single engine Cessna, and it uses fuel mixture things. And literally what it's doing is like you have to control the fuel mixture, you have to be able to like control how much of the flow is going in. So it's kind of training you for the science behind the throttle. And I don't know what I'm doing with the throttle. So basically I just know how to steer it and how to use the brakes. And that's about it. But that's also like super important because if you don't know how to fly the plane, then literally nothing else matters. But at the same time, also talking on the radio is pretty important, and I still don't know how to do that either. So yeah, there's that. That was a terrible Irish accent, but yeah, there's that. So in the emergency services aspect, I'm not as involved in it as much as I should be. I want to get involved in it, but I'm in high school and I'm trying to make sure that my grades are good, and that requires a lot of hard work, especially on the weekends, and a lot of commitment too. And I'm also in the middle of meet season for gymnastics. I'm only doing 2 meets this year, but one of them is also the state meet, and I want to do a lot better than I did at my first meet of the season, which did not go as well as I wanted it to, because I ended up scratching 2 events, which basically means, and I compete 6 events, and I scratched 2 of them, which basically means I on 2 events I was like, nah, I'm just not gonna do it. And like me, I live by a motto which is never settle for anything less than the best, and I really live up to that. Like, or I try as hard as I possibly can to be the best. And 9 times out of 10, like if I get like an 85 on a test, I'll be like, well, I'm not happy with it, but I'm not like I guess it's okay, but I'm not like, yes, let's go 85. I'm more like, this isn't good, like, and the standards are high in the school that I go to. The standards are high, and I have to meet those standards to be content with myself. And it's hard to meet those standards because like I'm meeting with my teachers, I'm like asking what my homework is every day, I'm getting it done on time, probably like 7 times out of 10, and that's not because I'm lazy. It's because like I have a lot of it, and it's just hard to manage. And in case you're wondering, the school that I came from, they had this thing called RenWeb, which is basically like you can look at your grades, you can look at your attendance, you can look at the directory of the school, you can look at what your homework is for that day or for the whole week. But that only pertains to if like they actually put it, if the teacher puts it in RenWeb. At my new high school, none of that. You don't have immediate access to the directory. You don't have immediate access to your grades. You don't have immediate access to what your homework is. You have to write every single thing down. And what is ironic is my parents were talking to me last year. They were like, use your planner, because I was actually like not doing as well getting homework done on time. And they were like, you're going to have to know how to use a planner, because once you get to Cistercian, there is no RenWeb. And I'm like, okay. And now that I'm actually at Cistercian, I'm using a planner pretty fine, actually. I figured it out pretty quick. It was not that difficult. So if you don't use a planner and you're struggling with like getting homework done on time, use a planner. Like, I promise you, it's a huge help, and it'll definitely help you out a lot. I can promise that. So yeah, that's my learning tip. Back to Civil Air Patrol, aerospace education. That's not a program that I'm involved in as much, but it's something that everybody gets to freely participate in. So like in each squadron, really quick, the hierarchy basically is that you have national, which is at the top of the hierarchy, and you have Major General, I'm not going to say his name, but you have the national commander, and then you go down to the region, which is like a certain group of states, but we call them wings. And then I think 2 districts are also part of the Civil Air Patrol, like 2 districts of America, but not the District of Columbia. But in total, we have 52 wings, which are all the 50 states, and I think like Puerto Rico and Colombia. I think I don't think that's the other one, but I think one of them is Puerto Rico, and then there's one for each state. So you have the region. I'm in the Southwest region, which is like New Mexico, Arizona, Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. I think those are the states. And then you go down to wing, which is those individual states or the 2 districts like Columbia. And then you go down to group, which is like a region inside of the wing. And then you go down to squadron, which is basically what I'm in. But I'm also in the group, in the wing, in the group, or in the region, and in the nation, just because that's how the hierarchy works. So in aerospace education, in your squadron, that's like a pretty big thing, because like every week of the month you have a different like thing for your meeting, scheduled for your meeting, like a main theme. Like we're gonna do like physical training this day. We're gonna have Form 60 board of review this day. We're gonna have aerospace education meeting this day. Or we're gonna have death by PowerPoint day this day. So we're gonna do this, and that this day, this and that day, and then we're gonna have awards and promotions at the end of the month. So that's basically like the basic structure. And on the week where it's aerospace education, we have a support group aerospace, and what they do is they just like come up with a certain presentation or a certain topic to present basically to the whole squadron, and then you just kind of sit down and learn about aerospace, whatever it may be, from like the physics of flight all the way up to like rocket science, basically. And it's good in case you're interested in flying as much as I am. So yeah, that stuff really helps, and it's one of the main places where I actually like figured out how to like fly a plane. But I still don't know how to use the throttle on the single engine planes. So that's something that I have to figure out. And then you can also like go through the program in Civil Air Patrol where you can earn your wings or earn your private pilot license. So you can go to flight school, you can get the certain amount of hours that you need, and you can actually become like a certified private pilot license or certified private pilot, and you can fly a plane legally. But it's also a lot of work. And as I've said, the standards in my school are very high. And if I were to do that, I'd probably have to give up like YouTube, Twitch, all my social medias for a decent amount of time, because that's one of the main things that I'm spending a lot of my time on, like planning for podcasts, like planning for Twitch streams, looking for games I can play, entertaining, like planning for all that stuff, and then just growing my brand overall online. It's like really hard thing to do, and it's hard thing to keep up with. But I love doing it, like it's just something that I like to do. And then, so I got on to rambling, which is kind of what I want to do, but at the same time, I lost my train of thought. So, yeah, aerospace education, you can learn the physics of flight all the way up to rocket science, basically. And then there's emergency services, which is something that you'll definitely see in the news a lot more with CAP. And it's basically like, one of the main things that we're doing now is we're basically like, we're moving a lot of testing kits and vaccines and like meals ready to eat and stuff like that. So we're doing a lot of moving, and then not as much reconnaissance, I guess, which is one of our main missions, which is like reconnaissance or search and rescue. And I can't remember the exact percent, but it's a very, very high percent. I think it's like 85 to 95% of all inland search and rescue missions are done by the Civil Air Patrol. Now, granted, that's not very many per year. If you think about it, it's like 2 per state per year, and then you have to go through a long list, like a laundry list of certifications that you have to get to be able to even be there. And then to actually be like a leader on said expeditions, if you will, to go find these missing persons or this downed aircraft, like to even like be able to go on and do that. It's hard to it's like hard to get there, but it's all worth it in the end, because to say, yeah, I found this missing person, that's something that you just don't like, that you don't get to do anywhere else, or like in any other program. And there's a video online. I'll try and find it and post it in one of my video descriptions, but it's basically it's like Ranger School for Civil Air Patrol, and it's basically like search and rescue special forces of the Civil Air Patrol, which is how I see it. But it's a very, very hard thing. It's kind of the equivalent to SEAL training, except not as many people quit. But I actually heard a story of of an NCO who had actually gone to, I think it's can't remember what it's exactly called, but I feel like it's like called Hawk Mountain or something. But it's like search and rescue 101 or search and rescue class on steroids. But he told us basically, like, on the first day we got there, like, they're staying in tents, they're staying under tarps. There was a huge downpour. Everything they had got wet, and 3 people in their flight, there's like maybe 9 to 15 people in a flight, and 3 people in their flight left that day. Left on the first day. They just said, I'm not doing this, I'm out. I'm giving up. And if you ever watched like a video of Navy SEALs doing Hell Week, it'll kind of be like you'll kind of see the instructors like encouraging them, like, all you got to do is go ring that bell 3 times and you can leave. You can go get out of the surf that's freezing cold. You can go have a hot shower, and you can go be in a bed right like within 2 hours, and you'll be out of here. That's it. That's all it takes. And the reason that they do that is to really test all of the people that are going through that. That is to really test all the people that are going through that training. Like, once you get out into the field, you won't be able to quit. You won't be able to like not deal with the suck. You won't be able to be like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna go have a hot shower. Never have to do this again. You don't get to have that luxury. So what they do is like basically like you have to embrace the suck. You have to realize that once you get out into combat, it's going to be awful. And that's kind of what they're doing here with Hawk Mountain, which was what I think it's called. Don't quote me on that. I can't say for sure. But they're in that training, when it like poured on that first day, they're basically talking about like, hey, it's going to suck, and you have to learn to suck it up and embrace it, because it's not gonna get better. But inevitably, once you accomplish the mission successfully or a failure, you're gonna get to go home, regardless. But you might die. That's the thing with every single job, from like an office 9-to-5 job to being a Navy SEAL. You could die. Just to what extent, I guess, is what it really is. So that's kind of the emergency services aspect of it. So yeah, and then one of the bigger things that's in Civil Air Patrol is the military aspect. So here, hold on, I'll be right back. I wanna show y'all something. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, so I'm gonna cover up my name, is legal reasons. But this is, here, hold on, let me make sure that I can actually hold it up in frame. But this is my CAP blouse. We do, in fact, call it a blouse. Why? You're asking the wrong person if you're asking me. But we call it a blouse. And this is my main CAP blouse. And it's not only like practical. Well, it is mainly just practical. But it represents like what we're all about. These things on my collar right here are my ranks. And I think I just showed my name. Darn. But those things on the collar are my ranks. So yeah, that's basically it. Like, there are pockets all over the place. The sleeves can be rolled up for when it's hot outside. But when you're in full uniform, it gets pretty hot. But like once you really get out there and you're in a high intensity scenario, or you're doing something crazy, like you're having a sound off battle with another flight, it doesn't really matter if it's hot. You're not really paying attention to that. You're not really paying attention to the weather. You're not paying attention to if you're wet. You're focused on one main goal, and that main goal is literally just being the loudest. Like, there's the basic encampment. I went to my basic encampment in winter of 2019-2020. And it was the best, worst experience of my life, if that makes any sense. But like at the beginning, you're gonna want to go home. You're gonna be like, oh, man, it's gonna be a long week. And then at the end of the week, you're gonna be like, well, I don't want to leave these guys. I just went through this, and I don't feel like leaving anymore. But it's a hard challenge. But I was able to finish it. But yeah, there were days at the end of the day where I was literally talking like this, and I couldn't even speak that well. And like we'd be going to class, and I would not be able to talk. That's just how it worked. But I loved doing it. I loved it to death. It was just amazing. It was an amazing feeling to be able to finish. I finished, and I was like, this is great. I'm so glad that I did this. I'm so glad that I was able to join this program that's going to help me so much in the future. So yeah, if you're interested and you want to talk to me about it more, you can message me on my Instagram or Snapchat at Gilly4926, Gilly 4926. No spaces, no capital letters. So you can message me there if you wanna learn more about it, and I'll give you a better spiel on it. But it's a very organized and attention to detail program. So if you're not really into kind of submitting to higher authority, maybe it's not for you. But what I'm gonna say is, you never know till you try. So yeah, I hope you guys actually do join, because it's an awesome program and I love it to death. So yeah, I'm gonna go put this back in my closet now. I'll be right back. My other stuff is falling out of my closet. Ow. Okay. As I was saying, well, that was actually about it. So really quick, I'm probably gonna go live pretty soon. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm gonna be going live on Twitch. I'll be streaming some 112 operator. So it's kind of like 911 operator, but it's the sequel. So if you guys are interested in that, you can come watch it on Twitch. I'll definitely be interacting with the chat a lot more. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that in any way, shape, or form, please do come join. I think you'd enjoy it a lot. So somebody's messaging me. Okay, as I was saying, yeah, so I'm gonna be going live on Twitch at Forgotten Hoodie, capital F, capital H, no space. So if you guys could pop in there for a little bit, that'd be awesome. I'll be live every Friday and Saturday for right now from 10 p.m. to midnight, maybe a little later, maybe a little earlier. But nonetheless, I will be live at 10 p.m. for at least an hour every Friday and Saturday. So yeah, I hope you guys pop in then, and we can have a little chat. We can have a back and forth, and I'll actually be able to interact with you guys a lot more. So let me see. All right, so in this episode, I gave y'all my spiel on paranormal experiences. Talked a little bit, just a little bit, over the Texas weather that we had this past week, which is still a very strange story and hard for me to wrap my head around. But you know, it's just one of those things. Then I gave y'all a quick overview on Civil Air Patrol. Because I've been talking a lot about that in the past couple episodes, and I've always like, oh, it's something I'll talk about in the next episode, you know? Okay. Somebody said a poo-poo word. Let's see, let's do this. Alright. Anyways. So, yeah, that's this is the topic overview. Quick plugs. Follow the Instagram, Twitter, and Snap, and the TikTok. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it tuned right here, Saturdays at 8. And I'll be back next week for the final episode of the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the good weather. And I will see you all next week. Good night. End.